Hello. This video I will try to film unscripted. Therefore, I will probably run into issues with the coding I will show and the development of the mini project and so on. But I hope it will be helpful. So what I want to achieve is to show you how you can quickly set up a Three.js scene on your local machine using examples you can find in the Three.js project itself. And before we see that, I want to admit that I tried this yesterday for the first time in my life using GitHub Copilot, which is the other aim of the video, to use an AI tool to help us quickly build code that is functional. Okay, and in the process, I discovered that Three.js developed its own AI tool, which is can be found here in the GPT section. So if you click there, it takes, okay, this is my personal ChatGPT account, which is trained to handle Three.js, okay? So this is a NGPT model that was trained on Three.js project, I guess. So we will use that too, as well as Copilot. So before we do any coding and such, let me walk you through the project for those of you who don't know about it. So Three.js is a JavaScript framework that allows you to show 3D graphics on the web. Okay, so these 3D graphics can be 3D models that you build using Blender, for example, or other tools out there, or you can find 3D models on Sketchfab, for those of you who are not familiar with 3D modeling. Sketchfab is the go-to tool, I guess, to find 3D models like this cool Porsche I'm seeing over here. And some of them are free to download, some of them are pet models, etc. So you have to always test and find their license rights. I think they are listed. If you open, let's open this. Soviet fire truck, okay, this is cool. I actually like it, okay. So if you scroll, somewhere here is the license. Let me see. USSR, blah, blah, blah. Let me see more information. This model may not be used in datasets for the development of generative AI programs, etc. So, okay, this is some sort of a license. So, but I don't see any licensing here. I don't know why. I don't remember where the license is, but you can test, I mean, check for yourselves when you download the model, whether you can use it or not. You need to have the rights to use it, okay? So anyway, let's go back to the project. And yes, we said that it's used to create 3D graphics on the web. People use it to make all sorts of things, from games to personal portfolios that look cool, and so on and so forth. My involvement with this came about 5 years ago. So yes, I learned it, how to code in using Three.js before AI models stormed in. So actually, AI models existed even back then, but they were primitive compared to what modern models can do. So let me show you a few projects about and things you can do. So we're gonna open this project, and let me find it, and this project. So let's go to this really nice computer. So this is a simulation, I guess, of let's go to the about section. An interactive 3D model of the BBC Micro from 1981. Okay, so you can it is claimed that you can choose from hundreds of games and experience the sights and sounds of the original hardware. Okay. Retro computing for the metaverse. Okay, so the cool thing about it is that if I press my keyboard, so if I say hello, you can see that the buttons are getting clicked. Okay, so somehow you can make it work and play a game, I think. So let's see. Okay, nothing's is moving. So I don't know. There is probably a way to make it launch a game. So, but this is not the purpose of the video. So I'm gonna close this project. And this is the solar system by NASA. Okay, this looks a little bit like the universe sandbox. For those of you who are familiar with the simulation, the space simulation. So I don't know if you click on that. Ah, that's cool. It shows you the planet itself and trace gas orbiter. Okay. Okay, and it shows you one of the satellites that orbit Mars, I guess. So let's zoom out. Let's keep zooming out and go to visit another planet. So, okay, you can interact with it, by the way, okay? So this was made with Three.js, so it's crazy. So let's press on Venus. Okay, it goes to Venus, that's great. So I'm not aware whether there are any projects currently that orbit, I mean, any satellites that orbit Venus. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But anyway, again, this is not the purpose of the video. So let's go out. And I want you to see this project by Bruno Simon. And I'm going to talk more about this guy. So this is his personal portfolio. And I can interact with this car and play around and do stuff, etc. So it's a really cool project that was created with Three.js. Okay. So anyway, you can interact with it. Bruno Simon created the coolest and most informative, I guess, Three.js class or lesson you can take called Three.js journey. Okay. And you can find it here. By the way, I'm not being sponsored either by Bruno Simon or the Three.js project, just so you know. But back in the day, back in around 2020, I bought it for, I think it was that 95 euros or something like that. And I learned a lot about Three.js. But now with the AI storming in, I think you can go further as long as you know what you're doing, okay? So let's close this, let's close Sketchfab, and let's get to the point. So what I want to do is to go to the examples here, okay? And this is not very different from what you would do without AI models. But anyway, what I want to show you is how you can take one of those example sites that they have here, okay, and build it locally on your local machine. Okay, I mean, a much more obvious way is to actually, let's go back. Let's go back. Can we go back? Okay. You can go to the GitHub. Did I talk about the GitHub? I didn't, I think. So this is the official repository of the project. It has 109,000 stars. So it's crazy, including mine. Okay. So you can clone it. Okay. Clone it locally and then build the project locally and go find the example you want and launch it from the project itself. But I think it's complicated, especially for beginners. So I think a much easier way is to go to the examples directly, okay? So let me find the one I liked that I believe, a project that I believe can be used as this one, the WebGL terrain and fog demo, okay? So you can use this as a personal portfolio, I think. So all you have to do is to press this button and it will take you automatically back to the project pretty much. I mean, this is the Three.js project again, the repository, the GitHub repository. So what we will do is to copy this code. Actually, we can do the raw version, okay? So let's do Command A, Command copy, okay? And we can go to Copilot, okay? github.com/copilot, okay? So for some reason I don't see, let me see. Is everything okay? You are usually able to, okay, this is what I was looking for. So you can load the model you want from here, okay? So we will be using GPT-5 mini, and all we want to do is to ask the following: hey Copilot, I want you to help me quickly set up an npm project. And npm means Node Package Manager. For those of you who are familiar with how to use Node, Node is a JavaScript. It's another JavaScript tool that allows you to show websites and run JavaScript code on your machine, pretty much. Okay, and npm allows you to download packages that you need using npm. So, can you quickly help me set up an npm project from the Three.js example code? And usually I use double quotes for code that I copy from the internet. And then we also need the CSS with this CSS. And how do I know about the CSS? It's because I looked into this project earlier. But if you go here, this is the HTML page, okay? And within the HTML, they built the whole example here, which is not what we want. What we want is to create 3 separate files: the CSS file, the HTML file, and the JavaScript file, okay? So if you read carefully, you will see that there is a main.css, file that we need to use, okay, for the styling part of the website. So here it is, okay, over here, main.css. Because how do I know it's there? Because the hyper reference is given in the local directory. I mean, if it was in a different directory, you would have something like dot and then slash and then directory and then main.css, etc. But this is straightforward. It's over here. And we will also press raw, Command A, Command copy, and we will go back to the Copilot. Okay. And just to be sure, let's check whether there is anything else we will need. So this is a simple project in that it doesn't use any 3D models that you need to load externally, etc. That's why I chose it for this demo. So we need this external file. We need these modules that in our case we will download from npm. And this is the code, okay? So let's go back to Copilot. Please use ES6 JavaScript with arrow functions. Okay, so this is the modern way to code in JavaScript pretty much. So ES6 is, let me show you, is the convention pretty much. So what does, let's go to this Reddit, I guess, or maybe let's ask, what is ES6? So ECMAScript 6 was created to standardize JavaScript, blah, blah, blah. So this is all, okay? And with arrow functions, and please try to keep the initial code nearly intact, okay? So hopefully this will create the 3 files we need, okay? Let's press enter and see what happens. So in your case, you're gonna see the final result because this is YouTube, but it takes a few seconds, I guess, for things to get set up. Okay, so the code is ready. So the response from the AI is that I'll scaffold a minimal npm plus Vite project that keeps your original example nearly intact, converts the inline script to an external ES module using arrow functions, and uses the official 3 examples paths for the add-ons. So these are libraries we need to use. Below are the files to create. After these files are in a repo, run npm install, then run npm run dev to start. Okay, so they give you the package JSON. Okay, this is the file that contains instructions about which packages the project needs to run. So we will actually copy this. Okay, so let's start with that. This is an empty repo. Let me see. Actually, let's create, so make directory mkdir demo. Okay, this is how I will call it. Let's get into the directory and now touch package.json. Okay, and let me close VS Code and open it again. So if you press code and then full stop, it will open the project. Actually, I have Copilot here as well, but we will not use it for now. So this is the empty file that was created, and we will copy the code in there. So pretty much it tells you that, let me see. So it tells you that you need the Three.js dependency and the Vite. The Vite is what creates the server that will run the project, the scripts. This is how the project is run. I mean, when we say npm run dev, this is what's called pretty much, okay? So let's go back, readme. Actually, let's copy this as well. So let's do touch readme.md. Oops. Okay, let's do move because I made a mistake. readme.md. Okay, so let's open it. And okay, so the AI created some instructions for us, I guess. So quick local dev setup for the Three.js terrain and fog example, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't know why. Okay, I actually don't like this. I will change it. Everything will be in the current directory. I don't want to create another directory for my CSS and the JavaScript. So I'm gonna delete that. Okay. Now we need the index.html. So let's go back to the command line, touch index.html, and it automatically appears there. We will paste the code here. And remember that in the README it said that these files are under the source directory. Because we deleted that, we need to go find the CSS and delete the directory because we don't need it. Okay, and we don't need it here either. Okay, probably we need something like a full stop and that to specify that we're in the current directory. But anyway, let's keep it like that. Now we need touch main.css, and we also need main.js. Okay. Okay. And here are the files, main.css. Let's copy and paste. And let's copy the main.js as well. Okay. Okay, let me check whether there are any problems here with the directories. I don't think so. Okay, so actually let's follow the instructions. We need to do npm install. This will download Three.js. So this is the structure of our directory now. When I run npm install, there will be a new folder called node modules. And inside those that node modules will be Three.js, the Three.js project. Okay, so let's press enter. Okay, it ran quickly. Okay, and let's do npm run dev. Okay, this will run the project. And it seems like everything went okay. So let's copy that address and let's open the project, and hopefully everything will run okay. And here's the project. Okay, simple as that. Really, really fast. Like it takes just 10 minutes. Okay, and yes, if I click, it works. Okay, left click forward, right click backward. Okay, let's see. Okay, the whole thing disappeared. I don't know why, but okay, things worked. And okay, I'm gonna close the project now, and the server here, okay? And we will try the same exact command in that Three.js GPT that the Three.js team built probably, or something like that. So let's grab the prompt that we used in Copilot and go, okay, this is the projects, this is the code. Let's go to this GPT. Actually, let's do it like that. Okay. Three.js Mentor by Three.js.org, a patient and knowledgeable Three.js guide. Okay, let's just paste the same exact prompt and see what happens. By the way, I have the paid version of ChatGPT, but you might be able to use the free version. I'm not sure. I mean, but even in the free version, you need to create an account. So, okay. So it says, all right, let's turn your HTML-based Three.js terrain and fog example into a clean NPM project using ES6 modules and modern structure while keeping the original code mostly intact. So they give you the folder structure. Okay, it's actually still running. But you see that it's pretty much the same, which makes sense because we use GPT, the GPT model here. So, but as I said, you can use other models as well. Actually, Claude models are a little bit more advanced for coding, as I experienced, but you can play around. And actually, this is a bad use of AI, okay? Because AI is good when you give it when you're searching for small chunks of code, okay? And I think the best use of AI is to use it like the name that GitHub chose for its AI service. They called it Copilot. So I think about it the same way as a Copilot in a car or in an aeroplane. It can drive the car, it can drive the aeroplane, but there should still be a pilot, okay, a physical pilot. So you are the pilot. You should be in charge of what's happening, okay? So let's see the output from the Three.js Mentor. Okay, the folder structure is the same pretty much. And in this case, it also outputted, I mean, it doesn't instruct you to use a different folder for the JS and CSS files. So it's actually better because it tells you npm init -y. This will initialize a node project. Then it tells you to install these two modules that you need. And actually, okay, let's go here and scrub everything. Okay, so actually, do we need to scrub everything? Let's see. No, I don't want to do this. I think it's about the same. I mean, you can see here that things are about the same. The stats package, you can either install it this way or grab it from the Three.js library, which is what this code does. Okay, so here it imports stats from the library itself, and stats refers to, let me run the project again. So let's grab the URL, go here. This is the stats. Okay, these are the stats over here. It tells you information about how much memory you use, frames per second, and so on. So, but yeah. But it also can be installed as a separate package, which is what this AI does, okay? It also, okay, it gives you a folder structure that you can use, suggested structure, okay, that's good. And then it gives you the index, HTML, the CSS, use exactly your CSS you gave, for example, okay, good. Okay, here's your converted JS with arrow functions and ES6 imports. I kept the logic nearly intact, just adjusted for module imports and any small tweaks. Okay, cool. And then it instructs you to run it. And that's it. Okay, and let's go a step further. And okay, let's another thing, by the way, to pay attention to is that if you upload this to, actually, I need a new terminal. I will open one from VS Code. Okay, you can do new terminal. Okay, so here we are in the same demo directory as before. Okay, so it's good to install, in case you upload this to GitHub, because this is a project taken from the Three.js project, it's kind of kind to include the MIT license and attribute, like here in your README, you should say this project, something like that. This project was, I don't know, forked from the Three.js examples folder, something like that, and then include the MIT license. So MIT license. So the MIT license is a permissive, non-copyleft open source software license that allows for a broad reuse of software with minimal restrictions. Okay, and you can grab it from, let's see, documentation. Okay, let's do that. Okay, maybe okay, let's see, is there a download? So yes, this is the license, and it's good to have a license file in your project. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then upload to GitHub. But anyway, this is not the further step I want to take. The step I want to take is to go back to Copilot and okay, and ask it, so can you keep the 3D part intact and overlay some HTML or similar to make this a simple portfolio website. Please output code I can either paste into my project or a new file, something like that. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see what kind of code it will give us and if it works. So it does give you new code. Okay, it gives you a new CSS. Let's see. Okay, so it says contains HTML. Okay, I turn your Three.js terrain demo into a simple portfolio layout by keeping the 3D scene code intact and adding an overlay UI. Okay, that's cool. Below are the files you can paste into your Vite npm project or add to a new project. I kept your original 3D code essentially unchanged. Okay, and only added a small UI module to toggle panels. Add or replace these files in your project. So okay. All right, so let's copy it. Let's see. So let's go to index.html, and actually let's keep this code. If you press command and then slash, it comments the code out because we might need it. Okay, it insists on using separate directories, which we don't like. Remember that. Okay, UI.js. All right. Okay, cool. Then main CSS, original CSS merged with the portfolio UI style. So we need the new CSS. Okay, let's go here, command A, command slash, it doesn't work. So anyway, I'm gonna scrap the CSS and copy the new one. So sorry, paste the new one. Okay, main.js is intact. And we will need a new file, ui.js. Okay, let's go here. Let's stop the project. So touch ui.js. Okay. And this is the same as before, so we will not copy it. And this is the new code that the AI decided to include. Okay. Okay, let's run the project. So npm run dev. It worked. That's good news. But did it really work? Okay, it doesn't look good, but it worked. That's the good news. Maybe if I copy the main, maybe there were some slight changes. So let's copy the new JS file and see. Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's see if something changed. No. Okay, so this is not a good use of AI in this case. Okay, so let's actually close the project. So I just wanted you to see that not everything works as smoothly with AI, so you have to be careful. And let's close the project. Okay, let's remove the UI. Okay, remove UI. Oops. Okay, we removed it. Okay, it's not there. So main.js, let's do command Z to undo what we did. Same with CSS, we will undo and bring back the initial CSS. And we will also undo whatever we did here and bring back the original HTML. And now when we run npm run dev, you get the, oops, I don't want Safari, I want Chrome. Okay, and here is the Three.js examples forked onto your local machine, just like that, using Copilot. Or as we discovered in this video, actually, because I wasn't aware of it, you can also use the GPT that the Three.js team came up with, okay, which is cool. And also, okay, let's actually see the code a little bit. Let's go to the main.js. So the container is the div from the HTML named container. So there must be a container somewhere here. Here it is. So this is the div that contains the Three.js project, okay? So it grabs it and it says container to container, and then whatever we do down here gets implemented into this container. So this is the perspective camera we need to use, the scene, background, fog, and then generate height. I actually don't know how these things work with terrain, because I never worked on something like that. I just liked the looks of it, and I just decided to steal it, as I said. So, but anyway, you can read all these functions and understand what they are doing, and you will have a really nice looking website on your local machine just in 10 minutes with AI. Okay, back in the day, before AI models were available, it could take you from a day to 3 days for an amateur software developer like myself. I mean, a professional developer should take a day, a full working day maybe, or maybe less. Okay, so what you will do without AI would be to create these files and then copy the JS from the project into here, fix any bugs, and so on and so forth. Okay, but I just wanted to show you something cool. I never tried this before, actually. I tried it yesterday. Just, I don't know, it just hit me, and I tried it and it worked, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So if you find this useful, let me know. If you want other similar videos, leave a comment and I will try to create more videos like this. And yeah, I do have a lot of experience with Three.js. Not as much as I would like, but I built a personal portfolio in the past. I created a project for my past job. I even worked on two freelance projects with Three.js. So if you have any ideas, hit me. So see you guys.